Ghosts from my past still haunt me. Voices in my head taunting me. Jodee's a wuss, Jodee's a wuss. Blanco, you suck. Too bad you weren't a miscarriage. We're all going to kill you. Voices like these never leave you alone. Sticks and stones can break your bones, but words can never hurt you. Or can they? The American Justice Department bullying statistics shows that 1 in 4 children will be bullied. Clearly, bullying is an epidemic facing today's youth, with its psychological and physical effects lasting a lifetime. As seen in Please Stop Laughing at Me, a true story of her own childhood by Jodee Blanco. It all started when, one afternoon, I saw a group of my classmates picking on some deaf kids. They were mocking them and calling them horrible names just for being handicapped. Please stop. They can't hear you anyways. Everyone hates these retards. Just stop it. Leave them alone. They didn't do anything to hurt you. But the harder that I tried, the meaner that they became. They turned on me. How dare I defend the retards? Then came high school and my first day of freshman year. I would pray over and over again. Dear God, I'll do anything. Just let the kids at Samuel's like me. Please don't let me be lonely anymore. I don't want my parents arguing over whose fault it is that their 14-year-old daughter is a social failure. Amen. Junior high was rough. And for the first time in years, I am not dreading school. As the bright orange bus pulls up to the corner, I hug my mom, grab my school supplies, and I rush out the door. Every bus has a hierarchy, a caste system, and as I made my way down the aisle, it became apparent to me that if I was going to get a seat, I would either have to fight or beg for one. I asked Nadia, who is often kind to me if nobody else is around, if I could sit by her. Can't you see somebody's already sitting here? She glances over her shoulder to make sure her companion's here. She would never associate with somebody who's not part of her clique. No, that's your sweater. Better my sweater than you. With that, Nadia and her friends exploded in laughter. The only seat available was at the very front, across from the bus driver. As I settled into my seat, I began to feel a series of gentle tugs on the back of my hair. I know that if I glance over my shoulder, it's only going to mean more laughter. So, as subtly as I could, I reached for the back of my scalp. I nearly gag as I discover one spitball after another, thick and dripping in saliva. At least they're not throwing rocks at me like they had in elementary school. Jodee's a wuss, Jodee's a wuss. They would chant over and over again. Sometimes one of them would hold me down while 2 or 3 of them threw dirt and gravel on me. One morning, on my way to the bus stop, I saw a group of them scouring a nearby construction site and stuffing something into their bags. As they approached, Reese pulled back his arm as if he were pitching and whipped a small chunk of cement at me. I winced as it smashed into my arm. Suddenly, tiny pieces of jagged mortar were being thrown at me from all sides. My hands over my face, I tried to run home, but the assault was too relentless. Please stop! Stop it! Please stop! Just stop! Please stop! Stop it, please! Please stop! My knuckles and wrists were swollen and bloody. Red welts covered my skin. I wasn't sure which was worse, the physical or emotional agony. No 8-year-old should ever have to feel these things. After the attack at the bus stop, I kept to myself more than ever at school. Kim and Emily both felt guilty for what had happened. After all, the boys were the ones who threw the rocks at you. We didn't do anything. But that's the point. They both stood there and watched. They didn't do a thing to help me. Nobody ever did anything to help me. At high school, I carried the stigma of being the class misfit. Blanco, you suck. Too bad you weren't a miscarriage. I know that cruelty is currency in high school. It can buy you power and popularity. My former classmates sensed my desperation and took advantage of me. As the weeks passed, they found every opportunity they could to pick a fight with me. I tried as hard as I could to make friends. There was even a boy that I liked, Tyler. Tyler rides the same bus as I do. He hasn't picked on me all year, so I decided to take a leap of faith. I asked him if he'll sign my yearbook. He smiles and says that he would be honored, and I'm thrilled. When he hands back my yearbook, there, in black marker, scribbled in all capital letters, are the words, "We all hate you." It is as if I have been kicked in the chest. The self-esteem that I have been trying so hard to protect all year just turns into dust. After Tyler ruined what little self-esteem that I had left, I walked home. I went to my kitchen and I pulled out the largest knife. I held it up to the window, watching the light bounce off its gleaming blade. My mom screams, "Jodee, what are you doing?" I am going to kill them, like they are killing me. Angel, please, just give me the knife. This isn't going to solve anything. Fine, have it your way. I tighten my grip around the knife, and I begin to cut my face. Mommy, make it stop! Make the voices stop! Just make it stop! Make the voices stop! Please, Mommy! After the incident with the knife, my situation became clear to me. I had nowhere to turn. I couldn't go to my teachers. My classmates would get in trouble, and that would only make things worse. I couldn't go to my parents. They wouldn't understand or couldn't believe me. I couldn't sleep. I longed to leave the earth. Dear God, please forgive me for asking you this. But instead of letting somebody who loves life get cancer, give me cancer instead. There are so many sick kids in this world with leukemia. Please, please just take it away from one of them and give it to me. I don't want to live anymore. Amen.